They whispered it in the dark, voices low, almost ashamed. "She's gone." They said it the way soldiers say prayers they don't believe in, because believing anything else hurts too much. Deep in hostile territory, after the blast and the chaos, the team marked her as lost, a necessary sacrifice to save the rest. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Lieutenant Mara Hale, and she had been the quiet one. Not cold, just careful. The kind of woman who listened more than she spoke, who checked her rifle twice and her conscience even more. She knew the unspoken rule of special operations. No one is more important than the mission. Still, as the helicopter lifted off without her, that rule tasted like ash in every mouth on board. The explosion had thrown her down a ravine, stealing the radio from her vest and the breath from her lungs. When she awoke, dust floated through thin shafts of sunlight like slow-falling snow. Her legs screamed with every movement. Blood soaked into the dirt. Somewhere above, engines faded. The sound cut deeper than shrapnel ever could. "They've left," a voice inside her said. No, they had to. She knew that, and knowing it didn't make it hurt less. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Pain bends time. Mara dragged herself beneath a broken rock shelf as footsteps approached. Enemy patrol. Their boots crunched gravel inches from her face. Her fingers trembled on the trigger. She thought of her team, of the call they'd made. She understood it, and still, something fierce hardened in her chest. She would not die as a footnote. As night fell, the cold crept in, settling into her bones. She splintered her leg with torn gear and sheer will. Hunger gnawed. Thirst burned. Doubt whispered louder than any enemy. There was a moment, just one, when she considered staying still, letting darkness finish the job. Would anyone blame her? Then she remembered the look on the youngest team member's face as they lifted off. Guilt, not relief. So she moved. Above her, miles away, the team sat in silence. No jokes, no sleep. The mission was technically a success, but victory felt hollow. The commander replayed the decision again and again. Had they waited 30 seconds longer, a minute? At some point, practicality turns into cowardice, and no one could agree where that line truly was. At dawn, the radio crackled, weak, broken, unmistakable. Hale, alive. Coordinates incoming. The tent froze. No one breathed. Then chairs scraped back, voices collided, hands shook as the rescue was launched. Helicopters cut the sky like blades. Operators moved with a precision, sharpened by shame and hope. They would not lose her twice. When they found her, she was leaning against stone, rifle steady despite the pain, eyes burning with defiance. She covered the perimeter until the last second, until hands finally lifted her, until the weight of survival became too heavy to carry alone. Back at base, whispers spread faster than orders. Soldiers gathered, pretending not to stare. Some looked away, unable to meet her eyes. Others stood straighter. When she was wheeled through the hangar, the room fell into a rare, reverent stillness. And then, quietly at first, applause rose. Not loud, not proud, grateful. Later, as she recovered, the commander sat beside her bed. He admitted the truth. They had written her off. It was the hardest call he'd ever made. Mara listened, then nodded. She didn't forgive him right away. She didn't condemn him either. War doesn't allow clean answers. What mattered was that she came back, not just alive, but unbroken where it counted. Because courage doesn't end when hope disappears, it begins there. And the one they thought they'd sacrificed walked back out of the darkness, reminding them all that survival is sometimes the bravest form of defiance. If this story stayed with you, share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more human stories of courage and resilience. And remember, sometimes the strongest warriors are the ones who refuse to stay lost.